What's up, world? This is Alexander Playtime Woods of PlayTimeCares.com giving you a full NXT recap. NXT, exclusively on the WWE Network. This NXT came from Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. It was September 7, 2016. Tom Phillips, Corey Graves was your commentator. It started off letting you know that tonight they have an interview with the women's champ, Asuka. And then that they'll also have a match between Shinsuke Nakamura, NXT champion, and Steve Cutter. Started off with the first of four matches. Match number one, TM61 versus Tony Nese and Araya Davari from Iran. Both of them from the Cruiserweight Classic series that's also exclusively on the NXT network. This was a great match. It really was. This was a good match. It was 3 out of 5. I'll tell you that right away. They had plenty of action. The crowd really enjoyed everything. Tony Nese is worth the price of admission. He's worth watching the Cruiserweight Classic by itself. Look at Tony Nese's performance in this match if you get an opportunity. They had plenty of tag team tandem moves. You know, I'm a big fan of that. And the Cruiserweight Classics, they actually held their own with TM61 for a long time during this match. But, I mean, TM61 are an established tag team out of Australia, whereas they just put together Tony Nese and his partner out of Iran. So, you know, the experience factor played in. Plus, TM61 is a little bit bigger. They're, you know, a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. So, when it all was said and done, experience mattered. That Thunder Valley combo into that TM61 did the job. So they won it. Like I said, that was a 3 out of 5. That was a good match. They went to the Asuka interview. I'll give you the highlights of it. Said Bayley fought hard, but Asuka fought harder. All the Raw and SmackDown women that left are lucky because they don't have to face Asuka again. And Asuka got kind of emotional, kind of hot under the collar when it was asked if there was anyone that could challenge her. She was like, "Hey, look, no one is ready to face me for this title." Good interview by Asuka, especially when you realize that, you know, it's her second language. Really good, and I like for her to switch over to doing all Japanese. Really good interview. Steve Cutler was interviewed about having to face the NXT champion Shinsuke Nakamura tonight, and of course, Kensei said that everybody's going to respect him. But one thing that he said that was interesting is that he sacrificed to get where he was. Since Shinsuke didn't put in the work, he didn't sacrifice to get to where he was. So that's why you're going to respect it. Your second match of the night, it was Leah Vaughn versus Ember Moon. Crowd definitely loves Ember Moon, and rightfully so. Ember Moon is awesome. Leah Vaughn, I would tell you right now that this chick has a lot of upside. She has a lot of potential. She was game for this match. In a short time that she did showcase her abilities. But Ember Moon, she started to dominate. You know, she powered up. You know, she started yelling, "Ah!" She powered up. And she started showing a lot of agility and all kind of just coolness. And then, long story short, you have a top rope stunner into that match. It was a good match. It was a 3 out of 5. They interviewed No Way Jose about being disrespected by Bobby Roode last week. Bobby Roode walked up while No Way Jose was doing the interview and looked him up and down and said, "Hey, nice head." So No Way Jose said that he's not going to change for anyone, and Bobby Roode is going to find out why you shouldn't mess with No Way Jose. Then they did a montage on a Revival, you know, the NXT Tag Team Champions. And speaking of tag teams, the last tag team that the Revival faced was Gargano and Ciampa, and they showed them, and they were saying that they both was cleared to wrestle, and that they would have a live match next week on a Cruiserweight Classic finale. Next week, they're going to have a match on that live showing of the Cruiserweight Classic. And our third match was Andrade Cien Almas versus Austin Aries. Mr. Cien, he was At the beginning, it was all good. It was a fast-paced match, and it was a lot of back and forth action. The crowd was split between the two. Um, the crowd was really into the match at the beginning. Then the excitement started to fade as the match went on. They didn't hold that excitement. They didn't hold the attention. When it was all said and done, Powerbomb was given by Austin Aries when CN tried to do a kind of like a head scissor takedown type move. Austin Aries turned it into a power bomb and then flipped it into a last chancery, and CN didn't have a choice but to tap out and give Austin Aries a submission win. That match was a strong two. It was a strong average match. Your last part of NXT, you have Samoa Joe walking down the hallway, and you realize that he's walking to view the match between Shinsuke and Steve Cutler, and then they do a Sanity promo. Again, be interested to see what Sanity, what he's all about or she's all about. Then they announced that No Way Jose and Bobby Roode will actually have a match next week on NXT. Then your fourth and final match, of course, is Steve Cutler versus the NXT champion Shinsuke Nakamura. Samoa Joe sits down and he's on commentary. And oddly enough and surprisingly enough, Samoa Joe gives really, really humble answers for the entire time that he's doing commentary. Says Shinsuke was a better man that night, yada, yada, yada. So, Shinsuke exposed flaws in his game plan, stuff like that. He gave really, really humble answers the entire time. And Corey Graves was doing things to poke the bear, but the bear never got upset and swiped or anything. He was humbled the entire time. He did say that it hurt to have to actually watch the NXT title be on somebody else. Shinsuke pretty much dominated this match. It was a short match, and truthfully, there was nothing outstanding about the match. This was a Shinsuke dominant match. Shinsuke hit the Kinshasa, and it was over. Shinsuke wins it, and he takes the belt and he holds it up. Samoa Joe stands up. Shinsuke and Samoa Joe lock eyes. They stare at each other. Samoa Joe just kindly turned around and walked off stage. The match was a solid 2. It was a solid average match. It was entertaining, but it was just a solid average match. Hey, subscribe to PlayTimeCares.com for more than just wrestling recaps. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Find me on social media. I'm always Playtime Cares. Playtime out. Subscribe to PlayTimeCares.com. I do more than just wrestling recaps. Follow my YouTube channel. Follow me on all social media. It's always Playtime Cares.